Hi, so we got the new IEGeek indoor camera. Nice packaging on the outside already. You get a little leaflet, bracket mounting screws, USB cable, a power source. All feels very nice and smooth. Not too much spare plastic, which is good. Looks like we got the camera. It's not too heavy. That's quite a nice looking piece of kit. It's got the lens on there with a little tape. USB port and network port. So far so good. Plugged in now. Plugged in. Micro SD card installed. Refers to in the instructions as a TF card. Turn it on. See what happens. There's a little red light that's popped up on the front. Starting its calibration, I think. There we go. Vertical and horizontal panning. Just like it said in the book. Seems to have calibrated. Okay, so we got the whole app thing installed. A little bit of messing around. You sort of connect it to the internet via a QR code that you download onto your phone, and then it pings, looks into the lens, blah, 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 installs that. It's a bit of a faff, but it works. And I had to set up an account for the cloud, which I'll do later, but I'm recording this locally, and you can see on the app here, I've just manually got a recording onto the SD card in the camera. Now it's got this little nifty controller down the bottom, which you can then use to pan the camera. So I'm going to just point to the camera with my finger so you can see it. There we go. There we go. See? Just panning right on through. No problem at all. It's a little bit of dropout. It's got an auto setting on terms of quality. It looks quite grainy. So it's hard to tell looking at it, but visually it's adequate. You can definitely tell that's me. There's a little bit of a lag, which you'd expect according to your network connection, but everything seems to be fine. It's functioning as I would have expected. We're going to run it overnight, keeping an eye in the back garden, looking through a glass window, which it's one of the claims that it can do well, and we'll see how it works. So we've had the IE80 camera for about a week now, and it does say it's an indoor camera, so we've been using it indoors, but we had it pointing out through the back window into the garden. It doesn't cope with that too well. It looks like it picks up quite a lot of noise in the foreground, so if your window has rain on it, for example, you can't really see what's going on the outside. You can see I've got a separate infrared beam that's flooding the garden with light, so the camera can pick up that infrared without its own motion detection infrared beam being triggered. And that's quite handy when you're wanting to look out and it's got night vision set on the camera. The trouble is that as soon as the camera detects motion, it then triggers its own infrared beam, and then what happens is anything in the foreground gets lit up, and it's hard for that to peer through any debris that you have on the glass. It kind of catches on the frame. It picks up motion from anything from little flies to things the size of crows, any movement in the bushes. It seems to pick up motion quite well. When you're panning and tilting, it makes quite a bit of noise within the camera, and that's recorded on the sound, so if your sound was critical, then you wouldn't want that sort of noise going on inside the camera. Would I recommend it? I think for £40, I think it's absolutely fantastic.